Our pattern every year at TheatreWorks is to begin our season with a bang with Shakespeare, with our kind of flagship production, which is always Shakespeare, and with usually an additional play, which is at least Shakespeare related. This year, it's Midsummer Night's Dream, Return to the Forbidden Planet. This is a marvelous musical created in 1989, won all sorts of prizes in England, and it's full of rock and roll and blank verse, and science fiction and robots and beautiful daughters and a crew of a spaceship that has crash landed on planet Deliria. This creation by Bob Carlton, he just had this idea. It would be really fun to work with Shakespeare's play, The Tempest, with Forbidden Planet, and with a whole lot of rock and roll. Shake, rattle, and roll, Great Balls of Fire, I'm Just a Teenager in Love, and to put all these things together in one amazing piece. The whole idea that there are other worlds out there that involve magic and things that we can't explain, and powers that we can't control, and aliens, and all of that is very active in Shakespeare's plays, particularly in The Tempest, and what happens there defies all probability. We all know from science fiction that anything can happen, and that the world is a lot more strange and interesting than we often perceive it to be in our ordinary life. We have converted this into a kind of 1950s spaceship nightclub. So you can have your Shakespeare, you can have your rock and roll, and you can have your drinks too.
The people that see the play are passengers in this spaceship, and we treat them as passengers. So we involve them in the production, and it's very participatory, and just, you know, like on any long distance, long haul flight, it'll be a lot of fun, if you've had a lot of wine and beer.
I'm a total sci-fi geek, closet geek, and of course I love Shakespeare, so when I heard about this show, that I got to do Shakespeare, got to be in a sci-fi show, and got to sing, I was really excited about it. Murray called me up and told me about it, and told me he needed a not-so-bright, square-jawed leader who can do Shakespeare and sing, and I was like, hey, yep, I play what I know. We're set up in a sort of a dinner theater format here, and it's very energized. It kind of feels like we're on like an old 1960s sci-fi film. TheatreWorks, I think, is well known for their nuances and, you know, great acting and acting in the round. You know, we're not looking for the quiet moments in this show. This one is more about the intensity, keeping it up the whole time and just going. So it's got a very playful feel to it.
The music that the playwright Bob Carlton has infused into this play is essentially from the late 50s and early 60s. Unlike some rock and roll musicals like Mamma Mia, for instance, which is an excuse to sing the songs, he's worked very hard to find music from the period to fit into the plot. It actually moves the plot along. There's a swagger to the songs in this play that you notice immediately. It's an early part of rock and roll, not the earliest part of rock and roll, but it's rock and roll sort of maturing and being a teenager.
It's amazing how well these old songs, with just some minor changes in here and there, to changing a word to maybe relate to space, how poignant these songs can become, even giving you some insight as to what the songs were even about in the first place.
I think I've established this is us versus Mamma Mia. So it's Forbidden Planet versus Mamma Mia. If you like Mamma Mia, you'll love Forbidden Planet.
They're going to want to dance, and they're going to get hurt.
Obviously, we can't make them do anything they don't want to do, but I think we're very much opening that door for them. We're telling them that they can be a character in the show. They can interact with us. We have certain characters who go out into the audience, and we have people that sing to the audience, and, you know, I'm hoping that there's going to be chairs and tables really close to the set so that we can, you know, walk over, take a drink from somebody's water if we feel the need to, and mess around with people.
It's just a musical designed and to make you happy, and very successful at doing that. I think it's just an enormous amount of fun. It just wins you over.
I think that Shakespeare was first and foremost a man who was interested in pleasing his audience. He would love this play, well, for two reasons. First of all, because it's very pleasing to a lot of people. Second of all, because it celebrates every play that he's ever written, and it's a pastiche that blends all of these things together. I think Shakespeare would be very honored. Maybe a little offended, but mostly honored.